Guys, welcome to Bachelor. My name is Joker with a face for radio and a voice for print. My husband treated me so well that I decided to turn him into a feminist. You know, many times when you think of what a masculine man is, and he's hardworking, he's dedicated, he's masculine, he's stoic, he does all the right things. Well, that's what women seem to want to sleep with. They certainly always say that's who they want to date and they want to be with when it comes to attraction. But then when it's time to settle down, they want him meek, submissive, don't bother me, don't waste my time, stay out of the way, just pay for all the things, and let me go sleep with a guy that's down at the gym that I find hot. But what happens when your husband is both? What happens when you find a guy that's relatively masculine and not bad looking, and he treats you well, and you're both, aging in years, but yet he still calls you beautiful, and he still finds you sexy and wants to sleep with you on various occasions? Well, what does she do? She turns him down and shuts him down and turns him into a provider. When I first saw this is from HuffPost, which, of course, is the toilet bowl of the internet, but this is by a Holly Terry. And Holly Terry writes from the standpoint of a feminist. And that's why I want to read this, to let you know that if you give the opportunity for a woman to take your huevos, your eggs in her hand, she can and possibly will lop them off at any point in time. This is from HuffPost Personal. My husband treated me like a queen, and it made me miserable. I know honorable men everywhere are treating women like goddesses and queens, but I'm pretty sure that misses the point. So by treating a woman, women say we want men to be emotional, we want them to be connected with their feelings, we want them to respect us, they want us to love us. This guy does. And she says other men, I know other honorable men are doing this everywhere, but you're missing the point. Now, this is the author and her husband. So this is Holly Terry herself. Let's see what's going on. It says, I'm twisting around to look at my butt in the mirror. My crack stretches up beyond the top of the tiny bikini my husband just gifted me, and my cheeks peek out from the bottom. I study the skin spilling out of both ends of my new suit and wonder how I could ever wear this to our son's swim meet or a family vacation. He says, he grins a big grin and says, baby, it's perfect. You're hot. Now, this is the guy and this is her. This is the woman writing this. This is the woman talking about herself and her husband. This is a good-looking guy. He's getting up to his salt and pepper years. She's seen better days, I guarantee you. But he's saying, something? You're hot. I want you to wear this little skimpy thing because, hey, it turns me on a little bit. She says, I feel flattered that my bleavage turns him on. And then immediately I'm anxious that he's worked up and it's my responsibility to take care of it. A sex clock starts ticking down in my head. I know he'll pout too much if time passes before he gets the intimacy he craves. So he gives her a little tiny bikini. He says, man, you're looking good in that, baby. And she gets anxious that he might be getting turned on by her and that he wants to sleep with her. See, from the male's perspective, it's, I gave you this little tiny bikini. I think you're hot in it. Man, I love your body. I still love you. How about, we go up to the bedroom, a little something, you know what I mean? Yeah, because I care about you and I love you and I think you're hot. What's her angle? Oh, no, he wants to sleep with me. Ugh. He did this because he wants to sleep with me. How do you make those two things connect? She says, when we turn in for the night hours later, there's a will they, won't they tension pinning me into the bed. I hope there's some amount of stillness that says no thank you without me having actually to say it. I dread the passive-aggressive pressure far more than I've ever dreaded sleeping with him. The next day, he huffs and puffs in the kitchen, he slams the cabinet, and offers only one-word answers. Now, okay, ladies, will you take me out to dinner here? No, I'm not in the mood. No, thank you. Can we go to this event? No, I don't feel like it. Can we redo the kitchen? No. Can you fix my car? No, I don't feel like it. Would she huff and puff? Would she have attitude? Would she get angry? Oh, you betcha. Because next thing you know, you're sitting down having the face-to-face about how you're not holding your weight up as a husband, how you're not pulling your weight in the relationship because you didn't help her with the laundry, or you didn't take her to dinner, or you don't get her things that she likes, or you don't pay attention, or you don't whatever, blah, 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 blah. But when the one thing a guy says is, hey, you know something? I got a little something, little tension going on here. I'd like to relieve my pressure, and I'd like to do it with my beautiful wife. And she's like, ew, get away from me. Too many times relationships turn into this where the woman says, I'm not going to fulfill my wifely duties, but you still need to fulfill your husbandly duties. And then this is the woman that takes that guy to court and takes him for every dime she can when he decides to go out and find a smoking hot 24-year-old to relieve his miseries. Because I can tell you right now, if this guy's on a babe site or a dating site and he says, just looking for a little fun, there are plenty of younger women that'd be like, yeah, he's not a bad-looking older guy. I'll go have a little fun with him. She says, this was the story of my life with my husband for the first decade of our marriage. The gifts and the flattery were part of a cycle that came with unspoken obligations and micro-blaming when I didn't meet them. It was a theme across our entire relationship, not just with regards to the bedroom. So him giving gifts and flattery, she thinks were bribes to sleep with her. Now, either A, no, he loved you. He wanted to make you happy. He was trying to get you in a good, happy mindset so that maybe you would want to sleep with him, that you would want to be intimate with him, maybe that you would give him the thing that he actually wants from you. Or B, he knew you were so disinterested in him and sleeping with him that instead of cheating or going out and doing something wrong, he said, let me try to do something here that makes things work for both of us. But the way she words this, it makes it sound like he's giving me gifts and being flattering because he wants to sleep with me. Okay, so maybe he loves you. Maybe he finds you attractive. He made lavish meals and then stared at me while I took my first bite. I found myself overperforming my pleasure with the food to validate him. He'd ask repeatedly if I liked it when my performance failed to convince him. We had an implicit agreement that I was responsible for his emotional state, and it was exhausting to me. Now, is it possible that he did need too much validation from her? Yes, it is. But isn't that what women, and especially these feminists, isn't that what they say they want? I want to be validated. I want to feel safe. I want to feel important. I want to feel loved. Okay, here's all the things. Oh, you're smothering me. And women will never understand the fine line it is to be a man to try to do this, which is why a lot of guys say, you know what? It's impossible. I'm not going to try anymore. I'm the man in the relationship. If you don't like that, leave. Women are forcing men to turn into the monsters they hate them to be. Because when men do try, they get shut down. When men do try, they get insulted. And then on top of that, she turns around and goes back to the guy that treated her awful. And I've got something I'll share when it comes to that after this story. She said, admitting to myself that our dynamic was toxic was the catalyst I needed to push us both into therapy, where we could unpack and challenge all the nonsense our families of origin had modeled. I was raised in a Southern conservative family with strict gender roles. I was expected to brush my hair, tuck in my shirt, and worship the men around me. Do you hear the poison in her voice? Look, I know plenty of people from the South. The women aren't taught to worship men around them. They're taught to respect men. But for a lot of feminists, just respecting a man, they think is poisonous. They think that is toxic to even respect a man. She said there was no real education at home or at the school about the bedroom, but I basically earned a master's in what is expected of a woman. My mother was chronically responsible for my father's emotional state, in addition to most of the houseworking and a full-time job. So again, mother, pedestal, father, horrible person. There was no healthy mutual partnerships in my husband's upbringing. His father was always in charge, even if he didn't know what he was talking about, and he brutally dominated the family and any business contacts who crossed his path. As one of 4 boys, my husband learned to revere female anatomy, but not to understand it. Notice how at the angle she's writing this from. Every man so far in this is bad, toxic, punishing, brutal, dominating. You can hear it in the words that she uses. She has a very unhealthy respect for men. But yet you notice her husband isn't brutal or dominating no. He's kind and giving. She says, in therapy, we started to see our condition more clearly. We learned we are each responsible for determining and communicating what we want and for giving the other person the compassion and space to do the same. Oh boy, she needs space. We know what that turns into. My husband learned to take everything less personally and to manage his feelings of rejection with a bit more grace. We still work in therapy to untangle our codependent patterns and to take our responsibility for ourselves. Notice she explains what he had to do, but not what she learned. She didn't really learn anything, it sounds like. This new perspective allowed me to step into a leadership role in our life and our home. And there it is. There it is. That's it right there. She couldn't stand a man being her equal or better than her and doing things for her. She had to be in charge. And that's what's happening with all these women today. That they want men to be, we need to be equals. Okay, I'll be your equal. I'll also do these nice things for you. I'll cook for you. Do you like it? I hope you like it. Oh, that's too much. I bought you this cute little outfit because I find you beautiful and attractive and I want to sleep with you later. Oh, that's problematic. But right here it is. This is the giveaway. The new perspective allowed me to step into a leadership role. I realized I wanted true equal partnership. She did, but she didn't. But based on the sentence before it. So I started to assert myself and worry less about his response. My husband had to relearn his beliefs about leadership too and accept how important it is to also be an enthusiastic follower. Shut up, get in the back seat. It's my time. It's my time. So he loved her, he doted on her, and she says, shut up in the back seat. You're toxic. She says, our new healthier marriage requires that I confront him regularly and elbow my perspective onto the table for his consideration, since we both failed to realize to prioritize only his. It was during one of these pivotal confrontations when I accidentally sparked the best thing that has ever happened to our bedroom life. She confronts him regularly, and now you understand why so many men say, I'm out. She gets in his face and she confronts him. Do guys want an argumentative wife? Do guys want a headache? Do guys want the arguments? No. And so what do men do that want to keep the bedroom and keep the marriage and keep half their assets and keep the kids? What do? They go, fine. Happy wife, happy life. I'm just going to shut up and you can run the show, honey. Okay, honey. You bet, honey. Yes, dear. Of course, honey. Henpecked. She says we occasionally read nonfiction books at the same time, book club style. And one day I confronted him about his recommendations. I complained that he was in an echo chamber of white men who didn't acknowledge patriarchy, white supremeness, or the privilege they receive from those systems. I couldn't get past the ignorance to receive the lessons of the book, I told him. She went full-on DEI, white awful. And if you don't know the awful acronym, it's like affluent, white, feminist, urban, liberal. She went awful on him. And she says, oh my gosh, he listened. His next book recommendations was from Emily Nagoski's Come As You Are. I was so excited that he was suggesting a patriarchy-smashing author. The next thing he did was plan an entire date around the book. He owned the project of incorporating the information into our lives. And his emotional labor felt like love to me in a way my drawer full of bikinis didn't. He read and recommended the book and invited me to a scheduled date on my calendar, which might not sound sexy, but it feels like steaming hot consent to me. He completed an accompanying worksheet, set up activities, and led the conversation to discover our most mutually pleasing context in the bedroom, as the book recommends. Oh my gosh, this is so bad. We kept the practice of scheduling connection time, so I get a chance to look ahead in my calendar and crave our date nights and their happy endings. Oh my God. I'm not a queen or a goddess. I'm a person with a body, and so is he. She turned him into a feminist. And you know what? He's behaving like a good boy. He's behaving like a good boy. Good boy, you did the dishes. I'm going to give you 5 minutes of happy time today. Good boy, you mowed the lawn, you read the book I assigned you, and you cooked dinner, and you validated me by not desiring me, and you scheduled intimate time on the calendar. Good boy. For that, I will allow you 4 minutes of starfish position and 3 minutes of from behind. But you must be done by then. No more than 10 minutes, because I have my aromatherapy and my yoga class to go to. Dude, this guy just ended inside. You could hear. And as a man, what choice does he have? Honestly, what choice does he have? A, no, I'm not doing this. Okay, divorced. I'm taking you for everything. If we have kids, I'm going to try to take the custody. I'm going to ruin you. I'm going to tell everybody you're poisonous and toxic and blah, 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 blah. Or you can do it. And if you want to, because if you cheat on me, I'll also take you through the ringer. So you be a good little boy, and I'll give you a little bit of bedroom fun. You just have to do what I want. And that's how this guy his soul left his body. And now he's another henpecked husband, quietly slipping into the night. Don't do it. Don't do it. That's why you don't get married. You don't get into a place where a woman can flip on a dime because of some weird crap she saw at a protest or at a class in college, in uni or something or other, and she can go, you don't do it. Don't do it. Keep yourself to where you can walk away when somebody goes lunatic like this on you. That's all I'm saying. And now she's happy and he's miserable. Guys, once again, movie night tonight, Saturday night at the movies tonight over on betterbachelor.locals.com. Become a supporter today, $5 a month. We watch movies every weekend. Tonight is going to be a very long movie night because it's like 3 hours and so it's going to be a 5-6 hour movie night. We have drinks, we share memes, probably a lot of inappropriate photos. We make fun of each other. It is definitely like a group of weird guys hanging out, which is a lot of fun. It's my favorite night of the week. So come on over, become a supporter today. Come hang out, and we'll have a good time, and I'd appreciate it. And we will see you guys in the next one.